from qualifying for the next one. In the top right hand corner in the red, it is going to be Burke. Down in the bottom left in the blue on Lava Bridge, it's going to be Kerias. And I'm aware the names on the overlay are probably wrong because we've been launching from game to game to game, trying to bring you as much content as we can today. Anyway, as I was saying, on the document that's just been hurled into the Twitch chat with great abandon, will allow you to quickly check up on any stats on yourself or any other player playing in tournaments, as well as allowing you to check how far away you are from those lovely qualifying points for the Invitational tournament. You obviously win points by winning weeklies, winning qualifiers, and by winning the big monthly tournament itself. And I'll just take a quick break to point out that Burke is going for that 6 expand, a little bit more macro focus. This is not a bad choice. Lava Bridge does have quite a narrow sort of choke at the front there. And the Wolves Den from Kerias is probably not going to get much done, but it's just that little bit of scouting and just a nice safe opening. There's not much that really trounces it in the current meta. So these are of course the sorts of builds that you will see if you come play on our Sunday qualifiers. If you get into the top 2 spots in any qualifier, you are guaranteed to be in the money, because you will qualify for the monthly tournament where the top 4 places, actually, is it, I'm pretty sure you're guaranteed to be in the money. It might be the top 3 places actually might be in the money. Yeah, if you qualify, you'll be in the monthly tournament, and I believe the top 3 out of 4 do win a share of the $50. I think it's $30 going out for first place, $15 for your second place, and I believe there's $5 going out for taking third. So more than just pride on the line here. And ooh, going to be a Dragon Rush out of Burke. So this isn't a bad map to do it on at all. Obviously, there's this wide out area by this natural base. You've got all this lovely tree space by the main as well. So not a bad choice at all. And it's actually just going to be what's nicely just dubbed the yummy build here at Kerias, which is basically the one wolf, grab your expansion, grab another wolf. So not a bad choice. And Burke will get to scout that there are wolves on the way, but he doesn't know if it's a cheese or an aggression. And this worker should get picked off before it really sees what's going on. But more importantly, it delays the wolves of Kerias here, who really needs to know these dragons are coming. With only wolves here to defend, that's never going to end well. Wolves, funnily enough, do not counter dragons, as much as they do desperately try. But growling has never taken dragons out of the air so far. So Kerias is actually going to continue to commit to these wolves though. Just going to be able to put a little bit more aggression on the map. He's obviously seen none from his opponent so far, so he can conclude even that it was a bit more of a macro opening. Normally you'd see the barracks units by now if it was a barracks opening. So there's a lot he can conclude from this, and now he will see the dragon's lair, and he has to react immediately. He might get a worker pick, which would be cute, but he's behind in workers already by a little bit. He does actually take the lead there. So going for this 4 will allow Kerias to take the lead, but there's a big problem. And weirdly enough, Burke actually going for a house. I guess that's just to create a choke point. But he's actually going to go for a dragon's lair of his own, which I'm not quite sure I agree with. Burke, for whatever reason, is delaying his own dragon's nest. And that might actually... Okay, he's just going for the choke point. There we go, there's the dragon's nest going down. But Burke needs an answer to this. It is only one dragon nest going down at the moment though, so Burke won't have quite the same punch you would expect. And Kerias is managing to do some harassment here in the main base, but he's not got any kills off it yet. And Burke does know that these opposing dragons are coming, so he does need to get these dragons out pretty quickly. If it comes down to double dragon's nest out of Kerias, then he could actually be in trouble despite going for the dragon rush. And Burke just checking his no third. Both players have got fairly decent scouting, and they have seen what each other are going for. And Kerias is actually surprisingly enough still alive in this main base. I'm not quite sure how he achieved that, but he's going to go in once again and see if he can get those little worker kills. But with enough high health workers here, it should be pretty difficult for him to really get much done. And it's actually just going to be... There we go, there's a double dragon snare from Kerias. So he has to start a little bit more defensive. He is going to be way behind in production, probably about one dragon's worth. But as soon as like a second batch of dragons come out, he should be ahead, and that's going to be a really dangerous position for Burke to be in. There we go, Burke's actually going to try and chase his wolves away now. They don't really have enough health to be anything more than a nuisance. But Burke's actually going to go for the testing lab. I don't agree with that. You definitely need that second dragon's lair before you grab your testing lab. The testing lab's nice, but it's kind of greedy, and if your opponent has two dens, like he currently does, and in fact they're actually going to be only about 20 seconds behind with these boosted workers. Kerias is actually going to be in a pretty good spot. I'm actually really worried for Burke here. I think Burke could very well just lose this game. There we go. So Kerias actually does pick up another worker in the main base, which is pretty sweet for him, and does continue to put him that little bit extra ahead. But right now they're on. He's doing a good job of keeping them alive, but their usefulness is kind of running out. He's not really done much with them. And the odd worker killer too is nice. And in fact, he did pick up 3 kills. Alright. Fair enough. Value wolves then, so... Oh, but they're going to get picked up now. There we go. One goes down. Second one is going to squeeze out, but no, it gets picked off. So, 3 workers for 2 wolves is a trade I think anyone would make. And the first dragon is actually delayed because of the supply cap. So that's a pretty darn big deal. He's actually going to be, despite dragon rushing, he's not quite pulled this off just right. And he's going to be way behind. Kerias is actually going to have a dragon out probably about the same time as he is, with the second dragon really pretty close behind it. And Burke will see this now. Actually, Kerias getting another 2 wolves into the main base. A pretty slick play from here, though. The dragon will clear this up now. But Burke's got to be feeling in a pretty bad position. He sees the double dragon's nest. He sees the dragon already out, and he knows he's in trouble. This wolf will finally get cleaned up in the main base. Maybe might... Oh, if he's lucky... Will he get the kill? Will he get the kill? He does actually secure himself yet another worker kill. So that's pretty sweet for him. Get him that little bit further ahead again. Obviously Burke can just replace these, but it's more gold, and Kerias can just spend that gold straight into something else. The first 2 dragons are on the way. The third dragon is almost done. And Burke, with that supply block, is really going to cost him here. He's going to be so far behind in dragons thanks to that supply block. He's going to have an upgrade though, which helps a little bit, but at these numbers, one defense upgrade, it's not enough. It'll slow down the workers and how many of those get killed. Oh, and in fact, Burke with a second supply block, that's really not good. It's going to be one dragon versus two, and Kerias could actually just take the game here. The third dragon is on the way, and I think Burke's in a huge amount of trouble. His second dragon pops out, so he's going to try and come in now. The dragons of Kerias are going to back off, and they'll take one or two hits on the escape. But the third dragon's here already, and Burke just doesn't have anything to do against this. There we go, the dragons are here, the focus fire goes down on the left-hand dragon. There's no way they're running away, because the dragons, of course, can fire while in flight. They don't have to take a pause, they don't have to take a breath. A little bit of stacking there for Kerias does actually take a bit of excess damage, which is not what you want.
Sorry, you streaming?
Yeah. And there we go, one dragon goes down for Burke. The second dragon is pretty much guaranteed to die now, and Kerias is actually just sending his lower health dragon to pick those workers off. Burke says GG, and Kerias